Welcome back, everyone. And in today's class, we will be learning topics. So first, working with TOEFL, then working with SET, then working with dictionary. Okay. So previously we have worked with list, and these all the TOEFL, SET, dictionary, and lists are type of arrays in Python. So now we'll start learning TOEFL. So first is TOEFL. Okay. So what are TOEFL? Basically, if you create a list, then lists are mutable. Okay. So lists are mutable. If you want to change any value at any particular index, you can change. Okay. But suppose that if you want to create a immutable list, okay, means no one can change the value at any index. So that's in that scenario you use tuple. So the basic syntax of tuple is this. Suppose that we have a tuple and tuple example is equal to 1 2. So for creating tuple we need to pass values inside a parenthesis. Okay. In case of list we pass values inside big bracket, and in case of tuple we pass values inside parentheses. Okay. Now the slicing and indexing works similarly as list. Okay. So I have already introduced you slicing and indexing. So these functionality work similarly as list. Or I have also introduced you slicing and indexing in case of string. So this will also that is this slicing of tuple is also similar like string. Okay. Now index assignment is not allowed here because tuple are immutable. So you cannot write tuple example 0 is equal to this because we cannot perform index assignment in case of because tuple are immutable. Okay, so you cannot change any element at any particular index. Okay. So there and now there are two methods available for tuple. Mostly we will be working with these two methods. So first is count. If you want to count any element in tuple, then you can use count method, and you need to pass here the parameter inside the method. Okay. So here we have the tuple 1 2, and if you call count 1, then it will return you 1 because 1 is present here one time. So it is used to count the element. Second is index. If you want to check the what is the index of this two or what is the index of this one, so we can use index in that case. It basically does what to get index of an item in tuple. Okay, so we will be practicing on this first. So first I'm creating a file here. For example, okay. And first, before explaining the example of tuple, I want to show you what is the difference between the list and tuple. Okay. So suppose that I am creating a list here. List example is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And if you write list example 2 is equal to 5. Okay. And then print list example. Okay. Here you can see that our value at 2 index has been changed. Initially it was 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it is 1, 2, 5, 4. Because the value at 2 index. So what is the 2 index? 0. This is 0 index. This is 1 index. This is 2 index. So value at the 2 index has been changed to 5. So you can mutate list. Okay. But suppose that I am creating a tuple. If you write like this, tuple example 2 is equal to 5. Okay. So it will give you error because you cannot, sorry, here we need to write tuple. You can see that it is giving error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Okay. You cannot change the value of tuple element, okay, at any index. So this is the importance of tuple. By tuple, we can create a immutable list of objects. Okay. Okay. So if you want to count element, okay, so then you can call the count method. Dot count. So suppose that if I want to check how many times this 3 is present, then I will pass here 3. Okay. And you can print the result. Okay. Here it will give you, okay, it is giving you 1 because 3 is present one time. So suppose that I have added here 3 again. Now it will return 2. Now you can see that it is returning true. So you can count the number of time any element is present. Again, if you check what is the index of this 3 in this tuple, then you can call print tuple example dot tuple example dot index, and we want to check this the index of the 3. We will pass here 3. Now run this program. Now it is giving you 2. Here you can see that 3 is present at which index? 0, 1, 2. 3 is present at 2 index. Also 3 is present here at 4 index. But it will always give you the first index of the element. Okay. So these are the two methods that are available for tuple. Now what is the importance of tuple? I want to show you again. So if you have data that does not change, okay, that doesn't change. Implementing it as tuple will guarantee that it remains write protected. What is the meaning of it? What it is telling? It is telling you that if you have data that does not change, suppose that we have a list of books, okay, and we don't want that in our program this list of books should be changed, okay, then we can use tuple in that case, because if we use list, then anybody can change, or in any part of program our list can be modified. That's why we use tuple to protect our data. So implementing it as tuple will guarantee that it remains write protected. No one can change the value. Now we will be working with sets. Okay, sets is again a array type. Okay, and set is a collection which is unordered. Unordered means elements are not ordered in set. Okay, so if you ordering is done by computer, okay, uh, you cannot use indexing here. Means there is no any particular index of any element. So that's why it is mentioned that it is unindexed and it is unordered. No duplicate members. And in say uh, you cannot add duplicate members. If you try to add duplicate members, then it will be ignored. Okay. So suppose that if we have some duplicate data, so we can use set to remove duplicate data from our from our data. Okay, so now if you want to create empty set, then you basically write empty set is equal to set, and then you need to pass curly brackets here. Okay, first you need to write set and then parenthesis, then inside it you need to write curly brackets. If you print the type of this empty set, now it will return you set because the class of this is set. So creating a set, suppose that if you want to create a set having element as Facebook and read my course, then you write set example is equal to curly brackets, and inside it you will pass the elements. Now here you can see that I have passed Facebook and read my course. Okay, so by this way we can create a set. Now we have set operations. Okay, so I think all of you have already read these set operations in class after high school. Okay, so what are these set operation? Suppose that we have two set of data A and B. Okay, so these are the operations that are performed in case of set. I'm just explaining these operations. Suppose that we have two sets, set A and set B. Okay, and if there is no any element common in these two sets, then we will call this type of set as disjoint. A and B are disjoint because there is no any element that is common in A and B set. So that's why this set will be called as these two set will be called as disjoint. Now look into this A and B. Okay, here you can see that every element of A is present in the element of B. That's why we will call that A is the subset of B. A is the subset of B and B is the superset of A. So we will say that A is subset of B. Okay. Now suppose that we have two sets again, and there is one operation that is called a union. So union will give you, okay, so first operation is union. Union will give you all the elements that are present in A and and that are present in B. Okay, so please give me 1 minute. Okay, so first operation is union. Union will give you all the elements that are present in set A and set B. Now we have intersection. Intersection method will give elements that are common to A and B, means that is present in A and also present in B. Now we have difference. Difference will give you which element. If you write difference between A and B, then it will give you the elements that is present in only set A, not in set B. Okay. Now we have symmetric difference. Symmetric difference will give you all the elements that are present either in set A or set B, but not in both. So is this clear, everyone? Okay. Now we will be practicing on set. So these are the following methods. So first is union. So this operator is used for union. For interaction, we use this operator. This AND operator is used for intersection. For intersection, we use this operator, AND operator. And for difference, we use minus operator. And for symmetric difference, we use this upper arrow symbol. Okay, so now we'll practice on this. First, I am creating a set 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have passed 1 2 times. You can see that I have passed 1 2 times. If you print this, you will see that 1 will be present in single time in this set. Here you can see that 1 2 3, it is printing 1 2 3 4. So 1 has been removed, duplicate 1 has been removed. Suppose that if you have a list, okay, and this list has some duplicate members like this. Okay, so there is if you have a list, okay, and this list has some duplicate members, and if you want to remove the duplicate members, you can just create set example 1 is equal to set of this list example. Okay, now you will have this list will be converted into set, and again you to print this. First I am printing this. First I am printing this, and you will see that all the duplicate members has been removed from this list. Now you can see that we have these numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, means duplicate members has been removed. And if you now modify this list, then you can write here set of set example. And if you print this, then you will get your by this way this list will be converted to the list that will have only unique elements. Okay, sorry, here you need to write list. Now you can see that it is printing here. Okay, we have set example 1. Now you can see that it is printing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, means this list is now changed into this list. So this is the importance of the list. Sorry, this is the importance of the set. So now we will be performing with two sets. First I am commenting this. Suppose that we have two sets. Set example 1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And set example 2 is equal to 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. If you want to perform union, then you can write here result is equal to set 1, then union operator, then set 2. If you print the result, it will give you the union between these two sets. Means in the union, I have told you, you will get all the elements that are present either here, either in the first set or in the second set. Now, if you run this program, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here you can see that in this set we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, and this 4, 5 is present here again, but 6, 7 is present in this set. That's why it is giving you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. Now if you want to perform the intersection, then you can use result is equal to set example 1 and set example 2. If you print result, then you will get intersection between two set. Means intersection between two set means that you will get elements that are present in both the sets. Okay, so theoretically we should get 4, 5 because 4, 5 is present in the set 1 and set 2 also. If you print the result, you will get 4, 5. You can see that the output is 4, 5. Similarly, we can perform difference. For difference, we will use here result is equal to set example 1 minus set example 2. And if you print here result, then you will get 1, 2, 3. Okay, why? Because difference will give you the element. If you write set example 1 minus set example 2 means difference of set example 1 with different with set example 2. It means that it will return you only the elements that are present in set 1, not in set 2. So here you can see that in the set example 1 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this 4, 5 is present in set 2 also. That's why it will be removed from the result. Now you can see that the output is 1, 2, 3. If you want to perform symmetric difference, then you can use result is equal to set example 1 and then set example 2. If you print result, it will give you the elements that are present either in set A, set 1 and set 2, but not in both the sets. Mean it will remove all the common elements. Okay, if you run this program, you will get 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So it will return, it will remove 4, 5. You can see that in the 4, 5 we don't have, sorry, in the result we don't have 4, 5 because this 4, 5 is present in the set 1 and set 2 also. That's why it is removed from the result, because the symmetric difference will return only elements that are present either in set 1 or set 2 but not in both. Okay. Now there are methods inbuilt methods that we can use. Okay, so if you want to perform union, then we have method. So first I am commenting this. If you want to perform union, then we have a inbuilt method. Result is equal to set example one dot union set example. You can use union method, or you can write result is equal to set example 1 union example 2. So these both are equivalent. So either you can use this or you can use this. Okay, so if you print the result in both the case, you will see that the result is same. So I am printing this result for both. You will see that it is giving the same result 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay. So now for intersection, we also have one method. So you can write result is equal to set example 1 dot intersection set example. Okay. If you print result, this is equivalent to of what? Result is equal to set example 1 and set example 2. So this is equivalent of this. And the result will be same. So this is easy. That's why I am not showing you the result. Again, if you want to perform difference, then you can use result is equal to set 1 dot difference set example 2. Now you can print the result. And it is equivalent of what? Result is equal to set example 1 minus set example 2. You can use both the functions. Both the way you can use, or you can calculate the difference. Again we have symmetric intersection. So for symmetric intersection, either you can use the previous one method. So we will write here result is equal to set example 1 and then this sign, then set example 2. Or you can use result is equal to set example 1 dot symmetric difference set example 2. The result will be same for both the case. Okay, I am printing all the results. You can see that in the we have first. Okay, so we can start from end. Okay, so in the end we have 1 2 3 6 7. Now you can see that we have this set. So the symmetric difference will be what? 1 2 3 and the 6 7, because 4 5 is present in both the set. Okay, so I'm not giving you the example of this. So these are easy, you can try by your own. So this is equivalent of these two symbols are equivalent. Okay. Either you can use this symbol or you can use the method symmetric difference. Now, if you talk about intersection, you can see that suppose that we have two sets. So first I am commenting this. And if you write set example one dot intersection update set example two. Previously, I have given you the example of intersection, but here we have intersection update. Okay. After doing this, we are printing set example one and print set example two. Now you can see that it is giving you set example one has been changed to 4 5, and the set example two, the value of set example two is 4 5 6 7. So this intersection update will first calculate the intersection between these two sets, and it will update the value of the first set because you have written set example one dot intersection update means first perform intersection and then update the value of the set by the result. So first it will calculate the intersection and then it will modify the value of set 1. Similarly, you can also I'm commenting this. Similarly, if you perform set example one dot difference update set example two. Okay. Now if you run this program, you will get 4 5. First set is 1 2 3, and then we have 4 5 6 7. It means that the difference update first will calculate the difference between set example 1 and set example 2. So the difference between them is so the difference between set example 1 and set example 2 is 1 2 3. Okay, and it will update the value of set example 1 by 1 2 3 by the result. You can see that the set example 1 is 1 2 3 and set example 2 is again 4 5 6 7. Suppose that if you are writing this and if you write this, then this line will be treated like comment and it will be ignored from compilation, or it will not treat like code code. Okay, it will be just comment. Okay, is this clear? Okay. Now I'm giving you the set example methods again. So suppose that we have set is equal to 1 2 3, and we want to add here a new element dot add. So suppose that if you want to add here 4, then we can call the add method. Okay, and if you print, it will give you now 1 2 3 4. 4 has been added. Okay, similarly if you want to remove 4, then you can call move and then 4. Now if you print set example, firstly it will be added and then it will be removed. Now the set will be remain the same. If you print, you can see that it will give you 1 2 3. Okay, now suppose that we have two sets. Set 1 equal to 1 2 3 and set example 2 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And if you print set example 1 dot each disjoint set example 2. So I have introduced you disjoint. Disjoint means no element should be common between these two sets. But you here you can see that 1, 2, 3 is present in both the set. That's why it will return you false. Okay. If you call here it is returning you false. But if no value will be common, then it will return false. So suppose that I am creating another set. Example 3 is equal to 6, 7. So if we print set example 1 dot set example 1 dot it is disjoint set example 3, it will return you true. Why? Because the set example 3 is 6, 7 and set example 1 is 1, 2, 3. No elements are common. Then it will return you true. Here you can see that it is returning you true. Similarly, you can calculate the superset and subset if you print set example 1 dot each superset of, sorry, I am writing like set example 2 is superset of set example 1. Here you can see that the set example 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Set example 1 is 1, 2, 3. All the values of set example 2 is present in set example 2, set example 1. That's why it will return you true, because set example 2 is the superset of set example 1. So it will return you true. Here you can see that the output is true. So if you print set example 1 dot each subset of set example 2, okay, then it will return you true again, because all the value of set example 1 is present in the set example 2. That's why set example 1 is the subset and set example 2 is the superset. Here you can see that the output is true again. So these are some methods that you can use. You can use clear method to remove all the elements from the set. Okay. So these are some methods. So the first method is that I have already introduced you, clear. If you want to remove all the elements from the set, you can use clear. Then we have copy. If you want to get the copy of set, copy of all the elements from the set, you can use the copy. The difference update, discard. If you want to remove any elements from the set, you can use the discard method. So these are some methods you can try by your own. Okay. I have already introduced you most of this. Now we will be working with dictionary. Okay. So Python dictionary stores values on the basis of key and value pairs. Okay. So suppose that you have a details of, and now you can see that the syntax is first you need to write curly brackets. Okay. First here I am writing curly brackets and then the key like this. Okay. These are key and these are values. So the first name is the key and the Anand is its value. So now you need to write comma, then again this last name is key and the Kumar is the value. So this way we can create the dictionary. So if I ask you what are keys present here, then you will answer me first name and last name are keys here, and Anand and this Kumar is the values present here. So if you want to create empty dictionary, then you will write dictionary example is equal to this curly brackets. If you want to add an item, you can call the update method. You will write this dict example dot update phone number. Okay, phone number by 123456789 0. This is equivalent of dict example of This means first you need to pass your key and then the value. Okay, so key is phone number and the value is this. So if you print, okay, I have not printed the result. Now you can see that duplicate keys are not allowed. So if you try to if you try to add phone number two times, then the value will be updated. It will be not added more than one time. So phone number will cannot be present two times in the dictionary. So dictionary keys are always unique. Okay. So if you call these two times, then it will just update the phone number. It will not change it will not add the phone number two times. Okay, so we will look the dictionaries in tomorrow's class. And if you have any doubt in today's class, please ask.